Hello everyone and welcome. This is JC for Top 3 Productions. And for today's video, I have the 10 absolute best Mandela effect examples for you guys. Over the past few months, I have showcased over 200 Mandela effect examples in about 30 videos on this channel. And I've looked at least twice as many examples. I've collected data from multiple sources and I've seen responses from these examples from many people. And I have selected the 10 best examples for you guys out of hundreds based on many factors. Anyways, without any further delay, let's get started. Oh, and please, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe. I upload new videos every single week. Let's kick things off with a very popular quote from the animated classic Alice in Wonderland, the 1951 version. And this quote is from the Cheshire Cat and it's one that he tells Alice. And the quote is, "We're all mad here." This is a very popular quote and it is showcased on a lot of merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, etc. This quote is also a very popular tattoo. A lot of people have gotten this quote tattooed on their bodies. Here's some of that. You could Google it, "We're all mad here" tattoos, and you will see dozens and dozens of examples of this. However, as it turns out, this is not the quote at all. The actual quote is, "Most everyone is mad here." So it turns out, somehow, everybody's printed the wrong quote on all this merchandise, and all these people tattooed a quote that doesn't exist on their body. Anyways, here it is for you guys.
But I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. Most everyone's mad here.
Next up is a Mandela effect from Risky Business, starring Tom Cruise. This Mandela effect is related to his infamous dance during the film, and it has to do with what he was wearing during the dance number. Many people recall him wearing sunglasses and a white t-shirt. However, as you can see, he's not wearing glasses any longer or a white t-shirt. However, many people remember him wearing both of those things. And as you can see, it's a very popular Halloween costume, and it has also been referenced on many occasions on many different shows. And as you can see, sunglasses and white t-shirt seems to be the norm. However, that is not the case. It's always been no sunglasses, pink striped shirt. Is that what you guys remember for that one? Next, we have one from The Matrix. This is a personal favorite of mine. I have seen The Matrix at least 20 times. It's one of my favorite movies. And recently, it also became a very popular meme. The "What if I told you" quote. I personally remember the quote, as many other people do, as, "What if I told you that everything you knew was a lie?" And this line is said by Morpheus speaking to Neo. However, as it turns out, I was shocked, as are many other people, to find out that this "What if I told you" quote was never said at all in any of the 3 Matrix films, which to me was pretty shocking, but actually pretty fitting considering it's The Matrix and this is the Mandela effect. I find it amusing that during The Matrix, I believe it was Trinity that tells Neo when he experiences deja vu that something has been changed in the Matrix by a programmer. And that is also one of the very popular theories regarding the Mandela effect. So perhaps a little bit of a deja vu happened and that quote ceased to exist. How about you guys? Do you guys remember that quote? Up next, we have the most famous TV judge, Judge Judy. And this Mandela effect has to do with her use of the gavel, or lack of. That's right, Judge Judy has never used the gavel. However, many longtime fans clearly remember her using a gavel. They even claim to remember her using it excessively to make a point or to quiet people down. However, the gavel is nowhere to be found at all anymore. All there is of her using a gavel is an image on Google. If you search Google images, Judge Judy gavel, she's holding a gavel. But other than that, she has never used it in over 5,000 episodes of the Judge Judy show. Do you ever remember Judge Judy using a gavel? This next one has to do with King Tut. and his very famous historic death mask. Specifically, it has to do with the animal that is on the forehead of the mask. Many people remember a snake on the forehead of the mask, and only a snake. However, as it turns out, the actual mask has a snake and a vulture. Many people have pointed out that this just doesn't look right. It looks off for some reason. Also, if you take a look at the TV series that you recently had regarding King Tut, you can see the headdress he wears is just a snake. And there's also many other images regarding King Tut, and it's only the snake that is shown, never the vulture. And yeah, many people just seem to remember the snake, as do I. How about you guys? Do you guys remember it being the snake and the vulture, or simply the snake? Up next, we have Sally Field and her extremely famous Oscar acceptance speech in the now very famous words she spoke during that speech. This quote has been used in so many different places and is very popular, and it was a very popular quote instantly after she said it. Everybody remembers this thing as, "You like me? You really like me." However, apparently that has always been incorrect. The quote is, "You like me? Right now, you like me." And I have a little brief montage of places where this quote has been used, and I'm also going to play what Sally Fields actually said. Here it is for you guys.
"And deny the fact that you like me. Right now, you like me."
I guess this means you like me. You really like me.
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 You like me, you really like me.
You like me. You really like me.
You like me. You really like me.
You like me, you really like me.
You like me. 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 You really like me. You like me? You really like me?
As a friend.
You like me. You really like me.
You like me, you really like me.
You love me. You really love me.
Like as Sally Field said, you really like me. You really like us.
It is a great day. And you like me. You really like me.
Before I move on to the next Mandela effect, I just wanted to point out the fact that there is another Mandela associated with Sally Field, and it has to do with the fact that many people remember her name as Sally Fields. This is not on the list. I just wanted to point that out since there's two Mandelas associated with Sally Field. And interestingly enough, CERN is one of the big theories behind the Mandela effect, and there's a big coincidence here since Sally Field's brother works at CERN. For our next Mandela effect, we have Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin, a very important invention during the Industrial Revolution. And this Mandela is very straightforward. Was Eli Whitney a black man or a white man? He was a white man. However, many people remember him as a black man. I would say, in fact, based on the research that I have done, the majority of people remember him as a black man. Just in my comment section alone, when I posted this Mandela effect, you could see all these comments of people that remember him clearly as a black man. Here are some of them. Also, there's a rap song by a famous rapper, KRS-One. The name of the song is You Must Learn. And in the song, he talks about how it's important to learn about black history and the contributions that African Americans have made through history. And during his rap, he mentions Eli Whitney. And I will play it for you guys now.
A brilliant black man that invented the almanac. Can't you see what KRS is coming at? With Eli Whitney, Haile Selassie.
Anyways, do you guys remember Eli Whitney as black or a white man? Now for the final three. This is where it gets really interesting. First, I want to talk about the Statue of Liberty. This is going to be a 3-in-1 Mandela effect, since they are all related to the Statue of Liberty and its history. First of all, I want to talk about where the Statue of Liberty is located. Many people think it's on Ellis Island. However, it is not on Ellis Island and has never been on Ellis Island. It is on Liberty Island. Secondly, I want to talk about what has been dubbed as the first terrorist attack on American soil. And it had to do with the attack of 1916 near the Statue of Liberty. When I had first heard about this attack, I had no recollection of hearing of such a thing. And I first thought to myself, maybe I haven't heard of it because it was a small attack. However, that is not the case. It was a huge attack carried out by German spies in 1916 in the month of July. This attack was in fact so huge, the shock waves were felt all the way in Philadelphia, and the ground shook so hard it registered an earthquake of the magnitude of 5.5. This explosion killed several people, and it also damaged the Statue of Liberty forever. The estimated damage of this explosion was $20 million during that time, which is the equivalent of $500 million in our time. So it was a huge attack in American soil. And I just find it, as do many other people, very odd that hardly anybody has ever heard of this. I would think, since it was such a big attack, historical, dubbed the first terrorist attack on American soil, it would be something that we would be reminded of constantly. However, the vast majority of people have never heard of such a thing. And finally, and as I mentioned, the Statue of Liberty was damaged heavily during this attack. Because of this, access to the torch of the Statue of Liberty has been restricted for the past 100 years. Here are several articles pointing that out. This fact is heavily documented. Here are some articles referencing that the torch has been off limits for over 100 years. However, interestingly enough, there's hundreds and hundreds of people that clearly remember visiting the Statue of Liberty and having access to the torch. However, this is impossible since the torch isn't structurally sound enough to hold the weight of tourists. There has been no access to the torch for over 100 years. For Mandela effect number 2, we have the sculpture of the thinker. And this Mandela effect has to do with the pose of the thinker. Many people remember the thinker with a fist under his chin or on his forehead. However, his current pose has him with a more open fist pressed against his mouth with his fingers sliding under his chin. But what makes this Mandela effect so interesting is that when people first started talking about this Mandela effect, people started posting a lot of older images with the thinker. And we have these images of people posing with the thinker, which is something commonly done when people are next to a famous statue or sculpture. They mimic the pose of the statue or the sculpture and take a picture. However, as you can see by these images, all these people, we have this woman right here posing with next to the thinker, and the pose that she is taking is completely off since she has her fist on her forehead instead of her chin. And I mean, this shouldn't be an issue since the sculpture is right in front of her. And we have yet another one, same thing, posing incorrectly. And finally, another woman. And there is many other images similar to these. And this has raised a lot of questions, and people have come up with a theory that the Mandela effect has changed the pose of the sculpture. However, the people in the image remain the same, which to me and many other people is very interesting indeed. The possibility that the Mandela effect could change the pose of the sculpture and leaving everything else the same. What do you guys think of this? And finally, number 1. And this Mandela effect is from the movie Moonraker. It's a James Bond movie. And although it's not a very popular movie, I believe, as many others, that this Mandela effect might be the best Mandela effect of all. For those of you unfamiliar with this movie, I will set some context for this Mandela effect. The villain or henchman in this movie is Jaws, and his weapon of choice is his powerful metal bite, as you can see here. During the crucial scene of the movie that this Mandela effect is related to, we have Jaws trying to kill James Bond in a cable cart. However, he fails and he crashes into the control room. After this, we are introduced for the first time to Dolly, his soon-to-be girlfriend, and they form an instant love connection. Many people remember this as him smiling as he does, and Dolly smiles back. And the reason they form an instant love connection is because Dolly has metal braces, and which makes the scene make absolute sense. However, Now, there is no braces. And out of all my research, I believe this Mandela effect is the one that the most people agree with. People that have watched this movie, I would say nearly 100% agree that Dolly had braces in the movie. I'm yet to find somebody that has watched this movie and disagrees with it. Everyone remembers her clearly having the braces. It makes sense for the scene in the instant love connection. Furthermore, if you go to the Universal website and they have her character description, you could clearly see that they have her as having braces. Also, during that time, the actor that plays the character of Joss, he was in a Visa commercial. And during this Visa commercial, he's in the supermarket and he's very intimidating. However, he approaches the cashier and he's very friendly and he has a question for her. If the store accepted the Visa Mini, which is something Visa was advertising at the time. And she nods yes, and wouldn't you know it, of course, she has metal braces. And this is of course a reference to Dolly in the movie. So absolutely everything points to the fact that Dolly should have braces and she does not have braces. What do you guys think of this? Hey everyone, JC here again. I hope you enjoyed that Mandela effect video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more in the future, please be sure to subscribe. I upload every single week new Mandela effects. And I'll see you guys in the next one.